Yet another vocabulary question, so let's just dive right into the passage and read it and see if maybe there's anything that's kind of hinting at what the word should be before we worry about what the choices themselves mean. So here it says, in 1877, 85% of California's railways were already controlled by the Southern Pacific Railroad. The company further solidified its, well, my gut already just wants to say control. The company further solidified its control in rail access to the state's Pacific coast when it completed the Sunset Route in 1883. Running from Louisiana to Southern California, the route established the first transcontinental rail line across the southern United States. Very interesting fact, but not interesting when it comes to finding the vocab word. Now, the reason I came up with the word control is I didn't come up with it. It's already there. It says it right here in the earlier part of the passage. And this is a very common structural thing that we're going to need to pay attention to for these vocab questions. It's not very often about understanding all these very difficult words. It's much more about noticing which words matter in the passage that we're already given, and they're usually easier words. We need to see that they're repeating themselves. So be on the hunt for that. That's the main strategy, is you really want to come away from one of the other sentences in this passage with some clear idea of what the blank is going to be. They're going to repeat themselves in some way, so your task is to see how. And so we know now that we're looking for a word that basically means control. That would fit in the blank, but also that's kind of what we have the evidence of. And so now when we go through and look at these words in the choices, we can just be like, okay, well, dominance is control. That sounds pretty good. Creativity, that's not control. That's creating new things. If it's insignificant, then it's certainly not controlling something else. So that doesn't make sense. And neutrality is when you don't take a side. So that has nothing to do with anything. So these are not particularly difficult words. I would hope you should know all of these, but we do have some kind of benefit just by knowing what the overall strategy is for questions like this. What are we trying to do? We're filling in a blank, but it's not random. It's based on something else that's already in the passage.